We can now say officially that the medical examiner there has positively identified the body that was located in the landfill yesterday as the missing child from Orange Park, Summer Thompson. Her family has been notified of these findings. As you can imagine, due to the investigation, we are not in a position to discuss the cause or manner of death or any other details of the autopsy, but I will tell you that her identity was verified through dental records.
Please, you don't have to tell them who you are. You don't have to, you're not going to be in trouble if you give the answers. Just help us find who this is. Don't let another, I never thought in all of my life that I would ever have to do this, even know anybody. I don't want to see another parent feel empty.
Let's unleash the lawyers. Joining us tonight, Richard Herman, renowned defense attorney out of New York. Hugo Rodriguez, defense attorney, former Fed with the FBI out of Atlanta. Well, Richard Herman, I don't know how many death penalty cases you have worked on, but this would certainly be one for the books. There is no way, once this perpetrator is caught, that there will not be a death penalty sought. No way.
No way. The outcry from the community is going to put enormous pressure on the district attorney's office. They are going to have to bring it.
They don't need pressure. Don't act like this is a political decision. Take a look at this little girl. Nobody needs to exert pressure, Richard.
Yeah, they need the pressure here, and they're going to get it, Nancy. It's devastating. This case is absolutely devastating. On behalf of all the criminal defense attorneys you invite on your show, this is absolute devastation. And to hear the parents speak...
You know what? Please don't. Just... I appreciate the sentiment, but just save your breath, because some defense attorney is going to feel like it's their duty under the Constitution to try to get whoever did this off. We all know that. You know, Hugo Rodriguez, in the state of Florida, as in every state, there are certain mitigating and there are certain aggravating factors that are looked at when the death penalty is sought. This would certainly fit into the Florida death penalty special criteria, but it may end up being a Georgia case, because when you don't know where the crime was committed, you prosecute where the body was found. Yes, no?
Yes is to your answer, but I'm in Florida. Florida has a death penalty. Duval County, where this is from, will prosecute more than likely. And they have a history here in Florida, and they will charge murder 1 plus kidnapping, which would cause not only death, but an additional 50 years. A person would never get out of jail, and I agree with Herman.
Number 1, it's Wade County, not Duval. But number 2, another legal theory for it to be handled in Florida, which I believe has a better death penalty record than Georgia does, would be that even if this child was murdered in Georgia, even if the crime began in Florida.
The crime did become Florida. I think that from forensics, where they found the body, they're going to find other things that are going to tie her to that community where she was abducted, and it will be in Florida. And as you said, we have a history in Florida of bringing these death penalty cases, and one of the largest in the country.
Yes, you do. And Richard Herman, correction, it's Clay County. But Richard, right now, what would your advice be to the killer?
To the killer?
Yeah. Because, you know, just throw a bone for pizza. Of course it's a him, but
see, that's the problem. You know, it's not necessarily a sex offender or a him. You can't just focus on those groups. Yes, you have to investigate them, but don't limit it. That Sunday school teacher put that poor little girl in a suitcase and threw her in a river. You can't limit it to that group,
You know what,
Nancy.
Richard Herman? Put Herman up, please. I stand corrected. You are absolutely correct. We do not want to limit the search. Everyone, we are taking your calls. I want to go out to Mark Class. Mark, weigh in.
Well, you know, the gal that murdered Sandra Cantu is the only female predator that we're aware of. She's the only female pedophile, I think, that we're aware of, just as we didn't know anything about female psychopaths before Wernos, we didn't really know anything about this until this gal that murdered Sandra Cantu. This is most likely a man. He's most likely a sexually sadistic psychopath, and he really doesn't care what you, I, or anybody else think. That's not why he did this. He did this for instant self-gratification without consideration for the consequences of his crime.
Very quickly to Bill Majeski. What are your thoughts, Bill? I think I've got Bill Majeski with me. Go ahead, Bill.
That vacant house that is in Florida, I think that's going to be a treasure trove of forensic evidence that they're going to be gathering as we are speaking now. Hopefully they will then, with that evidence, be able to connect that murder to the individuals that were involved in it. All kinds of DNA evidence is going to be there, and a multitude of other things.
Back to Lisa Rucab, the neighbor of the Summers family. Lisa, what are the family's plans at this point? They don't even have the little girl's body.
No, ma'am. I'm thinking as soon as Savannah gets finished and we get her back home, we do have a funeral home here that's taking care of everything. As far as what they're doing right now, we're just waiting for her to come home so we can go from there.
And to Dr. Michael Bell, how will they be able to tell if the child was sexually molested?
Well, they'll do a rape or sexual assault kit and look for body fluids in the usual places.
With me, Dr. Michael Bell, Palm Beach County Chief Medical Examiner. We are taking your calls, but as we go to break, it is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Tonight, Women's Personal Health Resource, founded 9 years ago by oncology nurse Barbara